messing around.
I am so excited to do this episode.
Why?
Because
What's so special
honestly,
about this one?
It's the coach episode. It's the coach episode. More importantly, look, I know it's called Coach, okay, and I love that. I love that for the show, but it really should have been called the V-Rab episode.
The Velvet Rabbit.
The Velvet Rabbit episode. Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
One of the funniest, I truly feel like one of the funniest scenes that has ever happened on the entire show. I can't wait till we get there. We're going to break it down. I'm going to try not to laugh through the entire thing when we're talking because that's all I want to do. Just thinking about it makes me laugh.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so here we go. Coach returns to the loft. And he immediately...
I'm already done. Just that moment, the cutaway in that first bit where he's just there.
Yeah,
I can't even do the recap for a second because the way it's so Damon, the way he does that first line so serious and then goes into full like ludicrous line delivery.
Yes.
I was already dead. I was dead from the beginning of this episode. Okay, try again. Sorry.
That moment, he let you know exactly what was happening. So,
Sorry.
Coach returns to the loft, and immediately things get frisky when he takes the boys to the strip club. Lemon pepper wings for everyone. Meanwhile, Jess responds by calling her own girls' night, which leads to her and Cece meeting the ultra smooth talking Artie, a.k.a. Tay Diggs. Per usual, Winston goes too far and accidentally buys non-refundable bunny money.
Ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. I've done that. Coach tries to fight his ex's new boo, a cop.
Beau.
What? Yeah,
you called a new boo.
Yeah,
I guess you could say new boo.
Or bae, or I'm black. I didn't want to read beau.
You're like, I'm not going to go French for you. Let's go.
The fuck? We got our own terminology. Can I say my shit? We're going to say es beau. Who the hell says that?
A lot of people.
No, not a lot of black people.
All right, his new boo beau.
His ex's new boo, a cop, Artie ends up naked in Jess's bed, and Nick delivers a knockout punch that once and for all solidifies Jess as his girlfriend. Fun fact, Russ Alsobrook, our director of cinematography, directed this episode.
Yeah, I remember this moment. I guess he'd been asking to find like a good one, and he was, our DP. Super, super talented, the best, and responsible for that whole look that you see that you love of our show that feels so comfortable. And then he got to direct this episode, and he directed the hell out of it.
Oh yeah, written by David Feeney. Now,
also the best.
Before we jump in, I do want to mention. I remember being I was at a party. We were at some party when I was like industry events, TV things or something like that. And I run into Tay Diggs. And, we were just chit-chatting and talking a little bit. And he was talking about how obsessed he was with New Girl and how much he loved the show. And I said, you got to come on the show. He was like, dude, I would love to be on the show, man. He goes, and I said, well, Liz Merriweather is right over there. She was in the other corner talking to somebody. And I was like, bro, I'm sure she loves you. I was like, you're Tay Diggs, dog. It was like, you gotta. He's like, should I just walk over? I say, shut up. Just go. I'm going to introduce you. So I bring Tay over to meet Liz. And then they're chit-chatting. And next thing you know, he's in the show.
Get out.
I'm responsible for that. I got no percentage of his paycheck. I got nothing. Okay, so let us dive in for a second, Hannah. We're in the loft. Nick gets a call from Coach saying that he wants to hang out. And this is whole back and forth like, oh, Coach is back. It's super, super exciting. We haven't seen this man. And then the flashback.
Yeah, the flashback. One of the funniest flashbacks, I feel like, because one, group shot. Anytime it's a group shot and you guys get to play drunk, as we will see later in this episode, is solid gold. And one of my favorite, it's one of those things where you, like, I rewound it. I kept rewinding it and then just watching each of you individually right? With the choices of how drunk you're going to play and interact with each other. And my favorite is Max Greenfield, because he interacts with really no one. He's just standing there like a statue with a mad face when you're trying to like not act drunk.
Yes.
And singing so seriously, like singing like his life depends on it. One of the funniest choices. It set the tone so perfectly for how ludicrous and drunky this episode was going to be.
100%. And, Schmidt, he comes in, he's stealing things essentially from the apartment. Wind chimes, Jess's toothpaste. It's Jess's toothpaste, but I love Winston goes, is that where the toothpaste went? So clearly he's been stealing her
Everybody's
toothpaste.
stealing her toothpaste. By the way, that is usually like a roommate situation where somebody just like has like the personal hygiene products and you're just like swiping it when they're not looking.
Oh, 100%.
Classic
to avoid all that,
life.
I just buy a lot more toothpaste. And I don't even question it. I just go, whatever. And
then one of my favorite Damon moments ever.
Oh, my God. Nick and Schmidt are fighting. And all of a sudden, the shot of them three, a three shot, with Damon's hand on both their shoulders. He goes, you sons of bitches ready to party.
Which is also, I just feel like that was Damon. Like there was no acting. Zero acting happened in that moment.
That's how he is. Oh my God.
I also did not remember that Coach is just like an open douchebag. Like I didn't remember that was like the character that he played, or at least in this episode where he like fully leaned into it, just being like wildly like douchey.
Oh, 100%. He's like, I don't remember. That
scene where he comes into the bedroom with Nick and Jess, I was just like, what's happening here? I forgot that. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Because he wants to go. So he wants to go out, right? He wants to go to the strip club.
Yeah.
He comes in out of the gate. He's swinging. He calls Winston shrimp forks because he couldn't palm a basketball.
This was my question when I did the rewatch last night. My question for you was, how much did it hurt you, Lamorne Morris, to have to act like you were bad at basketball?
A lot, because
I knew it.
And like the ball's like slipping out of my hand. I'm like, I could palm a basketball. To me, it's funny, so I didn't trip about it. But I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And we talk about it later in the episode, why that term shrimp forks doesn't make any sense. Because I played professional basketball.
That's right.
So I just remember logically when this was a storyline, I went, well, this doesn't make any sense because no matter where the city is, no matter where the country is, if you're playing professional, that means you're amongst the elite in the world.
Well, it didn't make sense because of the flashback, because it makes sense in terms of Coach's character, who is like obviously like highly insecure, so like tears people down, their relationships, something they do well, like play basketball. And so you'd go like, oh, like you're a pro basketball player. Of course, he's going to like feel insecure about it. And so he's going to make fun of you like he's just some like, jerk or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they do the flashback, which just shows is straight up facts. And that's the part that is like confusing logically.
Yeah, that was wild. but I love the look.
But Shrimp Forks is also a top quality bully nickname.
Oh, I mean, I get called Shrimp Forks
top
to
tier.
This day. I'm being serious. People call me Shrimp Forks to this day.
I get called lionfish.
I have big hands.
Which is so wild. Like under the sea, a type of nicknames that have stuck for you and I.
Lionfish,
and Shrimp Forks. That's going to be our next podcast. You guys stay tuned.
Yeah. Now, Coach, he wants to take the boys to a strip club, right? But Jess tells Nick that she's uncomfortable with him going on a Tuesday night. Nick denies being, and Nick's like a little frustrated about it. And obviously he's backtracking and he's trying to figure it out because he's got the pressure of Coach on one side. What's happening with him and Jess? They haven't had the conversation. And
capital T, capital C.
Yeah. And he kind of in a way denies being Jess's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it's this and we've all been there where it's the labeling thing. Who's labeling? Who's not labeling? What's
or trying to look cool for like a friend who like you think is super cool. My favorite part of that exchange is when he says something absolutely, inappropriate.
Yeah.
Right? Like trying to like posture to his to coach. And then she looks at him, she goes, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I don't know."
I love what he's just like, "I'm just telling him what kind of cake to bake me, son." Like,
oh my
what?
God. Yeah, I think that's the part where she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I don't know. I don't know. He's really cool and this is not cool and I don't know what I'm doing."
Mm-hmm.
And the part also when he yells at her, "I'm so sorry." I love it so much. No, yeah, it's so good. So good.
Now Jess is pissed about it. You know, so she's like, "We going out tonight."
That's
okay,
right.
To see
Taste
other
your own
people.
medicine, buddy.
Exactly. And a taste of some of that pineapple upside down cake that she's going to bake. Now, Coach, again, Coach
the
being
fact
a
that
dick,
he just pretends he's never met her.
He calls her Jebecca.
They live together. They spend time together. Jebecca.
Jebecca. I feel like he made that up.
No, it was in the script.
Jebecca was in the script?
I know, but it was obviously like such perfect writing for Damon that exactly when he said it, I had that same thought too. Because I'm like, that's just Damon being out of pocket.
Yeah.
Out of pocket funny improv. And then I looked at the script. Jebecca
is in there. That's crazy.
In the script. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Credit to Damon, man, because you made it seem like you were just
100%.
being like a perfect improv man.
Now, Jess and Cece, they go to the bar where Nick works to complain about men.
Wild place to pick up somebody.
So crazy. I know. Like, literally, this bar is the only bar in town because they don't go anywhere else. Jess calls Nick a man boy and a man child hybrid because he wants to pull a dog's tail. Like, there's all this childlike things of Nick that she's just blurting out. And, Cece.
We talked about this last episode. This is why I think that my actual, my spirit character is Nick, because when you talked about your Halloween costume being Mickey Mouse when I last saw you, I'm like so disappointed I didn't get to pull your tail. This is why I know, deep down, I'm Nick Miller. Okay.
My gosh. Well, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with pulling a dog's tail, but I've never done it, but I guess it's bad. I thought it might be funny. I don't know.
Don't do that. Don't do that, people.
Yeah, don't pull dogs'
Don't go around
tails.
touching little animals' booties just for fun.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's what I'm saying.
Dong, dong, dong.
New theme song.
Yeah, I know. But Cece, she encourages Jess to make Nick jealous with Artie. Huh? Artie, a.k.a. Tay Diggs.
Have you ever been, because that flashback where they show us who Artie is and the fact that he's openly, wow, openly asking Jess out, where she's like, "Shut your face," or whatever she says, something so crazy. She's like, "This is not, look at you, no chance." Have you ever been hit on or asked out by somebody that was, you knew that you were punching, someone so gorgeous, you're like, for real? How?
Yeah. That happened recently. And I was like,
no, to clarify, I did not ask you out, bro. Okay? That was a miscommunication.
You're not in my league.
That's so cute.
But no, I just, it was this lovely young lady, and she was flirtatious, and I was kind of going I wonder if she is, I wonder if that's what it is. I wonder if she's actually asking me out. And it didn't work out between us because I was, I guess I was in my head the whole time.
Right. You're like, how? Does yours just you're just,
well, it wasn't
so
even
gorgeous.
it wasn't even how. It was more so how do I approach this in a cool manner? And I think I overcooled it.
You got too cool that you got cold.
Too cool. I got too cool that I got cold. I didn't really understand what was happening in our situation, but I think it's all stemmed from oh, you want to hang out with me? All right, cool. Okay. And it kind of fizzled out. It happens.
I get it. I've told you my story, my Matt Kemp story, where his ex was Rihanna, and he then wanted to go and have a meal with me.
Yeah.
And then I was just so it wasn't that it was Matt Kemp that was too attractive. It was this Rihanna's too attractive.
You're like, I don't want to follow up Rihanna.
Man, I'm so sorry.
If it didn't work out with y'all, it definitely ain't gonna work out with us.
I was like, what? Rihanna's ex wants to take me out on a no, thank you.
Oh,
she's too beautiful and too cool, so I'm go cold. Peace.
Yeah.
This is now we're at the strip club, and Winston thinks he's doing a massive flex.
Oh yes, he goes and gets $2,000.
With the funniest part of the bunny money, can I just say, is when it's explained to him that the strippers don't take bunny money.
Bunny money, no.
It's only merch and food.
Food.
I didn't remember that part, and I was in tears because you think, well, I guess you just have to like live at the strip club now for the rest of your life, and you can blow through this cash. But the fact that everybody knows that this is monopoly money, this is jokes, full jokes.
100%. And I've been there, not thinking that it was fake money. I OD'd once out of. Never mind. We can talk about that another time.
You got conned at a strip club? What a shocking turn of events.
Oh my God. I was like, what's happening? Where is my money?
I can't believe it.
She says she loves me. She says I'm the one. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Bunny money. Okay.
Now Coach is saying they're not leaving the strip club until the sun comes up. He's clearly in a weird space right now. And Schmidt and Nick, they're like, man, we got adult responsibilities. At an 8 a.m. presentation, and Nick has a pissed off girlfriend to attend to, and they fight over who should tell Coach that it's time to go. Now, Nick suggests the guys return to the loft so Coach can share his emotions about the breakup with Malia. But Coach says no. And Winston, the coward, agrees. They tell Nick he's whipped like cream cheese, which, rightfully so. Now Jess is sitting there considering, sending Nick a text. She's loving single life. But Cece, terrible friend.
Great friend.
Terrible friend.
She's a great friend. She's like, look, he wants to go sit at a strip club. You're not his girlfriend. He's saying that to you.
A strip club is different from going out with a guy. Those are two completely different things. I can break it down for you.
Spending your evening around semi-naked women. That's the choice. And your person you're dating, we can't call him girlfriend because that's this whole episode, is expressing that they are not comfortable. They then have the opportunity to not behave like a girlfriend because you don't want to call him a girlfriend.
Well, they're just two different things. See, one is it's a age-old style of entertainment, adult entertainment. Right?
Don't try to make it seem like he went and played like Nintendo.
No, I mean it may as well.
He played Tetris.
No, it may as well because there's no
may as well.
No, because there's no emotions there. There's no, it's not like a one-on-one situation. There are a bunch of people coming and going out of there. It's like they're open for hours, and they make money that way. This is how they provide for their families.
For sure. This is not a conversation about stripping or strip clubs. This is a conversation about a man who is sleeping with a woman and they have feelings, and the woman has said, I'm not comfortable with you going and being in an establishment where women are taking their clothes off. And so please don't do that. And then he's going, well, you're not my girlfriend. And so she goes, okay, I'm not your girlfriend. Then I might go and sit and have a drink fully clothed with a man.
Two different things.
Two different things. Same level of discomfort and disrespect.
No. And let me explain why. Because like I said, one is a transactional thing that has no emotions tied to it. There's no when you leave there, the expectation is that you are leaving here and that's it. When you are telling another man who likes you, who's asked to date you, you're saying, let's go sit down and have a drink. What you're doing is you're now sending the message to another man that you are available to receive his loving. That's different than a strip club. Everybody knows it's a strip club, that it's not.
When you are giving
we're
this
not going
girl
to date
the
someone.
dollar bills, and then she turns around and sits on you, and she has got no pants on. Okay. That is saying that you are open to receiving some transactional loving.
No, that's
what are you talking about?
That goes back to women of the evening. Strippers, that's not the same thing. It's just not the same thing.
This is one of those things where we have to agree to disagree, right, which is the whole episode that is happening, except for Nick has a light bulb moment, which I'll pray for you happens. Okay.
Oh, gosh. Hey, listen, I haven't been to a strip club in years, so I don't know.
Is that a fact?
It's a fact. I'm also single, by the way. So, if I
can
wanted to go, I could go. I'm just saying I haven't gone. You know what I mean?
Scheduling.
Scheduling is crazy.
Have you ever gone to one like in the middle of the day, like at 2:00 or like at 11 a.m.?
Oof.
A morning strip club? Ever in your life?
No. Yes, I did. For this episode. Fun fact, this episode was filmed at an actual strip club.
No way.
Yeah.
Where? Where in LA? Do you remember?
I forget exactly where. Somewhere off Pico, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I forget.
Where all the good bakeries are? All right. Okay.
Yeah, man. It was a couple churches and then strip club.
Just an 11 a.m. strip club for rent.
Now,
Art comes in and he's got a smooth move. Just takes a little of her drink and can break it down.
Mm-hmm. Which some people can do. That just means you drink too much.
Specific style of seduction.
A Shirley Temple with a finger of coconut rum and a lemon squeeze. She calls it a Temple Grandin because it makes her friendly and compassionate.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
She comes right out the gate and she says, I got a man.
Yes. So that's cool that she's at least being on the up and up and letting him know like, hey, this is just a hangout.
Also one of my favorite moments of this episode when he goes to get the eyelash off of her face. And he's like, make a wish. And she's like, I'm scared too. So funny. The delivery was so funny. It was great. So mixed messages though, by the way.
Yeah.
Some mixed messages because he says like, full respect, I'm out, bye.
Yeah.
And then
this terrible thing because Jess is like, she's like, Nick is doing more than shaking hands at the strip club. Because Cece obviously is still scorned by Schmidt's cheating, says no man can be trusted. As soon as you let your guard down, they just walk all over you.
Cece is really projecting a lot in this episode.
Oh, yeah, and we find that out later because she does come clean.
She does. Yeah,
but before we get there,
she owns it.
She owns it. Let's go to break, and then when we come back, we're going to see how much of a terrible friend Cece has been this entire episode. And we are back. We were just discussing how terrible of a friend Cece was.
She is not dealing with her own stuff. I will give you that. And so she's kind of pushing it on to Jess.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
In this episode, I'm not going to mention it. I'm going to let you figure it out. Did we find?
Stop talking to me about the bear. The bear is coming in a very special bonus episode.
Wait, did it happen in this episode?
I don't know.
I don't think so. You can say bare chests.
Yeah.
Is bear a form of bunny? Bunny a form of bear?
Is this the episode? Rabbit. Hold on, just between, not on the podcast. Is this the one where they make the Jay Cutler joke?
I think so.
Does anybody know? And is Jay Cutler part of the Bears? Is this the episode where they make the Jay?
Yes.
Then a coach? Or just a player?
He was a player. Yeah, and Jess makes a comment about Jay Cutler. And it was this
episode, right? Jay Cutler? I feel like it was this episode.
It was.
Huh? Jay Cutler. Okay.
So you did find the bear.
Yeah, Jay Cutler. Hello. Could not be more of a bear.
Yeah, okay. So there was a Jay Cutler reference. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with you, but we can move on. Meanwhile, Winston, he's over here trying to get his
funniest
money.
moment.
He's trying to get his money back, but Bunny Money sales are final and only usable at the bar, gift shop, and their sister club in Fort Myers,
Do strip
Florida.
Clubs have their own form of money?
I mean, I'm sure some of them do, but
really?
Yeah, it's almost like a casino when you get chips instead, and you tip people with chips. I could imagine, but usually I think they're redeemable in cash, like you pay for it. You know what I mean? Where those strip clubs are, I don't know, but I think generally they will just take money, like actual money. But
which is what these strippers do in the Velvet Rabbit. They also only take real money.
Real money.
Not the bunny money.
Not at all. Schmidt does a body shot, tastes the dancer's baby formula, and is grossed out immediately.
That was like the amount of like, it just reminds me of like the kittens and like the lactating nipples. Like there's a lot of these.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
Feeding a baby. Moments that seem to happen.
It was a lot of babies being born throughout the course of the show. A lot of people were having kids. Now Nick has a plan, right?
Oh, yeah.
The plan is to get Coach really drunk by recreating the shot contest from Raiders of the Lost Ark so they can take him home. And obviously Schmidt and Nick, they fight over whether Raiders is a pro-Nazi movie or not.
Unbelievable.
Now, Artie tries to be empathetic to Nick. He's kind of helping him out a little bit. He's like, hey, man, he's a guy in his 20s who wants to hang out with other guys in the 20s. And she's like, no, they're all in their 30s. And Artie's got nothing for that one. But Jess, she's trying to get to know Artie, and she learns that he owns the coffee. He doesn't just work at the coffee shop. He owns the coffee shop, and he regularly takes trips to Brazil, where Nick has never been. And this
how did you say Brazil?
Brazil. It's very Tay Diggs like.
No.
Let me try it again. Brazil.
Better.
Let me try it again. Brazil.
Best.
Yeah. Brazil. Right. Just like that. And Jess is really excited about that, about the way this man says Brazil and about the way the man says rubby baby buggy bumpers. I love her reaction to it. It's
Rubber
such a
baby
giddy
buggy bumper.
It was such a giddy reaction that she had, like a very schoolgirly, giddy, typical Jess
Some
reaction.
men do have that voice, though, that does, like, if your knees go a little weak and you can't.
Thank you. Yeah, I get that.
Some men have that voice where it doesn't make a lot of sense, but your knees go weak and you can't explain it. You're just like, wow, that's a...
So Tay Diggs happens to be one of those people. Now, meanwhile, they're having this shot contest, but for some reason, it's only making Coach stronger.
The arm curls he does with the stripper is one of the funniest things, because I was like, that's a real woman who is not a stripper, who has booked a role on New Girl, and Damon Wayans now is going to do arm curls with you. What a like sometimes when I look at what like a job is in this industry, that's a wild moment in your career.
I think I remember this being a discussion where it was asked if they were trying to like figure out which girl he was comfortable curling so many times, or if they wanted to put like a harness on to help with the curls. To help out with the curls. But, Damon's strong. That boy's strong.
It's a funny thing, because I feel like in those moments where they ask you on the spot, feels like especially men, on the spot, like, can you do this really physical thing with this woman multiple times? Rarely do you see the man say no. Because I'll remember there's a Valentine's Day episode, I think it's season 1, where it's the youths episode. Where, like they're at the house or whatever. And they asked Max, because he has to, because I get into a fight in the house, to throw me over his shoulder. Right. And walk out. He's going to take me out of the house in this Valentine's Day episode. And I was like, he can't just like pick up, all 100+ pounds of me and just like throw me over his shoulder and walk out, and we're going to do this several takes. And so I went over to Max and I was like, hey, if you want, like when the moment happens, like I'll like help jump, like just to kind of like help or whatever. So, and Max was so offended. And he was like, I got it. Like I can throw you over my shoulder and walk out of this. Like I'm good. But then on the first take, Max, I think to like show like I got this, threw me over his shoulder. So with such force that I flew up and landed like right on his shoulder, and I got the wind knocked out of me.
Oh, wow.
In the proving of his strength. And I remember being like, holy guacamole. Like, I just flew up in the air and then
holy
landed.
Guacamole?
Holy guacamole, man. And it was and I feel like for sure Damon's like, I can arm curl this girl because she was like flailing up and down a little bit. And I was like, just slow down. We don't need to go that hard with that girl.
Oh, yeah. Well, men, it's the machismo. We're trying to prove
That's
our
what I'm saying,
masculinity.
to be like, just watch me. Yeah. And then meanwhile, the girl's like, okay, we believe you. Slow down.
Listen, it's impressive. It's impressive. You can curl a lady. So Jess does call Nick. And what I love about this is Coach he calls her the notorious N-I-G, or Nagy Gyllenhaal is my favorite. Nagy Gyllenhaal. And Nick says that he doesn't need help checking his woman, but she overhears him because he doesn't know where the mic
covers the listening part of the phone and says it loudly in her ear.
It's such a Jake thing.
I was gonna say, and then when he like turns it around, he's like, coin toss. He doesn't even know which side it is anymore. I was like, that's also just Jake with a phone.
That's Jake Johnson with a phone. He probably, I'm quite certain he's still. I mean, the phone's rather easy to use now, but I feel like he's still a little bit like that.
Sure, and proud.
And
no hang up around it.
Well, Jess overhears this and she tells Nick she's with a man.
That's right.
And it's right, which is, my God, this is she did worse than him, in my opinion.
Well, it's also Cece helped make all this happen too, so it's not fully on Jess. It's kind of just it's not fully on Nick. That's right. Okay, we found some common ground.
We found some common ground. It's their friend's fault. Yeah, they're both scorned friends. Two friends going through breakups. Throwing that on their friends, which is causing them to potentially go through a breakup. Right. Now, Artie offers to give the girls a ride home. Jess marvels at Artie, that he managed to stay sober, and also that he can use a phone. And
and now Cece realizes, like, hold on, this was just supposed to like scare like Nick a little bit and make Jess feel like she doesn't have to just sit around and wait. But now it's getting out of hand, and she knows how much Nick and Jess like really do love each other. They just have not communicated properly on this thing. And now Cece is trying to like moonwalk out of this.
100%. And then meanwhile, we go back, we
cannot with this scene either.
You see Winston eating lobster because it's the most expensive thing. The lobster came out gray, by the way, which is like, you don't buy lobster at a strip club.
Here's my question for you. Was that lobster real?
The lobster was real, yes.
No, why?
Yeah, lobster is real.
Why? It's like the other scene we talked about in the bar where you had to do that thing with the fish, and you're like, it was real. And I was why?
Yeah, they always have real food.
Ew.
I know. It's That
was a huge lobster in front of you.
A huge one. The rule is to never buy food from a strip club unless it's in Atlanta. Like Atlanta's strip club, their food is the best part of the club.
I mean, I believe that.
Cheetahs. Shout out to Cheetahs. Just a great restaurant.
First of all, can I just say with Cheetahs, is it really just, because the men are all cheetahs?
Oh, hilarious. They're not cheating. They're just eating.
I just want to know. I just want to know if they were being creative with a name. You feeling like cheating tonight? Come to Cheetahs. We got you.
They got more class than that. They're not letting you cheat on your significant other.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they're checking your relationship status.
They do. They need to stay open. Bunch of pissed off wives coming in there trying to shut the place down. Nah. Now, fed up with Coach's behavior, Nick exclaims that the relationship is not toxic.
Right. He finally starts to stand up. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I love Jess. She's sexy. She's smart, all these things. And he really wants to go home to be with her. And then it's in this moment that we see Coach just crying. He's crying at a strip club because Malia broke up with him, not the other way around. And he was embarrassed. And he admits, which happens, he's trying to fill the void with naked girls. Mm-hmm. That's a real thing. I don't know why. It doesn't work, but men try it. Women try it too. Now Winston, he buys everyone again, he's got this money he's got to spend. So he buys
Wasn't
a
this
ton.
the wrap gift for season 2? Didn't we all get Velvet
Yeah,
Rabbit
we
hats?
got Velvet Rabbit hats or jackets, I want to say.
And Rizzoli was in a full Velvet Rabbit sweatsuit. I think Aaron O'Malley was too. I feel like they got the full sweatsuit, which, by the way, I would love one of those.
Oh, yeah. We should. Let's merch.
I just want to say
Rabbit
merch. Yes. Also, Christmas is coming up if you want to get me some.
I ain't doing it.
I know your assistant. I'm going to tell her. Lamorne told me that he wants to give me a Christmas present this year. Could you see if you could find the Velvet Rabbit full sweatsuit?
Now,
we have our own line of communication.
We sure do. You sure do. That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told. Now, Coach, he takes the guys. Okay, first of all,
I can't with this conversation. Okay, let's go.
And he's like, I'm gonna confront this guy, Malia's new boyfriend. And then they pull up to a police station. The police station, which is like, what? Wait, what? And I'm confused because that means Coach lived in LA this whole time and he never visited them. Because he was so absorbed in this relationship with Malia. But he wants to pull up to a police station and beat up a cop. Like, what?
Drunk fight a cop at the police station. So that man has all his people there.
Winston says, "Hey, you know the joke about the two white guys, two black guys walking to a police station? The white guys walked out." Yeah. And he's but Coach is drunk, and he's trying to get revenge. And Winston is like, "I bet I get left with this cab fare. I bet." And meanwhile, Schmidt, I love this little light argument they're having where they're hitting each other in the back of the car. Oh, it's so funny. I
saw a moment in your face. It's whatever Nick then says or Schmidt says to Nick, and then Nick reaches over and like slaps him. And I watched you like a Lamorne smile creep across your face because I'm like, how? There is no human person that could sit in the middle of that mess when they're in their drunk acting and fighting across from you, take after take, and not break every single time. That is like acting Olympics right there because it's way too hard.
Whenever one of them hits the other, I start laughing immediately. And that one was the funniest because it was just like a gentle. Their banter back and forth had me in tears.
Sure. I mean, it's so funny to watch. And the 3-shot. Mm-hmm. Also, the way you delivered the line, "Deal of a lifetime," was one of the funniest things.
I'm trying to give away this money.
Funny money.
I'm trying to get rid of this money.
So funny.
Now the guys, they sober up because they see Coach escalating with the cop, right?
By doing like a bunny hop, going pew 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 pew. Yeah. Also, so Damon.
Oh my gosh. Now Jess, she admits that she wants to hurt Nick by having a hot conversation with Artie. But Cece reminds Jess, although Nick may be drinking on a Tuesday, that she is also drinking on a Tuesday and that she is a teacher. I love this line where Jess is like, it's okay. They'll be watching a movie anyway.
I know. Didn't that make you automatically think about how many times you watched a movie in school?
Yes. How lazy
automatically,
those teachers are,
I remember because they used to roll it in.
Yep.
On that big thing, the
TV
old TV on top. They pop the VHS in, and your teacher would be just sitting in a chair, like reading a book, probably trying to sober up or deal with whatever they were actually trying to deal with just as a human being. And it would always be like some like voice-over narrated movie, like the year was 1868. And they, like that, some weird old history movie.
Let me tell you what we were watching. 3rd grade. Maybe 4th, 3rd or 4th grade. Teacher would roll on the TV. We'd watch movies like Boys in the Hood.
You guys are just like watching real movies, like not educational movies, like not a documentary or something.
We watched like straight up movies, and Boys in the Hood was wild because Boys in the Hood had like violence in it. It had nudity in it. There were like straight up sex scenes in this movie.
For what class?
It was like social studies, and she was just like, "We're gonna watch a movie." And I remember. Like all of us laughing when the sex scene came on because it was full on nudity and it was aggressive. And I remember the kids laughing like, "Oh," and the teacher going, "Man, what y'all know about that?"
Oh,
And we were like, a lot now.
Yeah, exactly.
We know a lot
as of
now.
today, we are educated. Oh, my goodness.
Yep. Now, Nick doesn't have a life plan or a day plan. He throws pizza at seagulls. He's been trying to feed them, and he's a really great kisser. You know, Jess is starting to slowly realize she's in her description of all of the negative things about him.
Yeah,
she slowly starts to move into the positive things about him. You know what I mean?
Even the worst things about him, she loves and finds endearing, which she realizes she loves that bit. Like, she loves that. I was going to say boy. She loves that boy.
100%. And, you know, we go back to, she wants him to leave. She's going to go tell Artie to leave.
Yeah, so Cece says sorry. She owns what was really going on with her, how she pushed it on Jess, that this has gone way out of hand. And so she takes ownership. Also, like a really sweet Jess and Cece moment. It's, again, one of those things that I feel like the show has always done really well, is that they really, they keep the female relationships, like that relationship, so honest.
Yeah.
Not in the like, they don't do it for a joke. Like, they always kept that relationship so true, where you can be like, girl, that's just me. I'm going through my thing, and I'm sorry. I've like dragged you into it, almost screwed up your good thing because of it. It was really sweet and beautiful. One of the things New Girl does so well. And so they're like, all right, we've seen the truth. And Jess also, because she loves Cece, is like, that's fine. I get it. No problem. Let's just get this like man out the house. And I'm going to figure this out with Nick. And then Tay Diggs does one of the most wild choices when he does the leg extension. And then the flicking of the fake water.
I was impressed by the leg extension. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, I don't know how to do that. My body don't operate that way. Tay Diggs is a Broadway. Well, Tay Diggs is a Broadway performer. He sings, he dances, he acts. He's probably taken some body movement classes. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm not able to do that, but I will work on it. But my legs don't make it past like ankle. Like my foot gets about ankle high. That's it.
That's it. All right.
Now the guys, you know, like Coach, you know, Nick tells Coach that they're too old for this whole little thing that they got going on this night, and this isn't for us. And Schmidt admits that he is unhappy since moving out, and he blames Nick. And then they start fighting in the most peculiar way. Each other.
Even like the cop is now just standing there. Now they start to fight each other.
Yes.
Which is the funniest thing. And they do, I have never heard of this before. I mean, it makes sense because it's like the Achilles heel, the ultimate Achilles heel for a man. They fight by
flicking each other's penises. Boop, 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 which is so strange because men don't do that. We don't do that. But
I feel like I've seen guys to go like, bah! Like to do something like that, and you can see someone like back up. But to chase each other around a parking lot.
Yeah, just touching each other's, hitting each other in the penises. That's weird.
It got a little weird. Yeah, for sure.
Now in the middle of all this,
Coach steps up. You think he's about to now like go after the cop, but he has a moment of growth and says like, you know what? Now that I'm eyeballing dude, she's not coming back to me. She's chosen you. So just like take care of her. And you think that that's going to be the end of the scene, but then the cop is hella rude.
Very rude. Because I'm not some, of course.
Rude.
He's like, of course I'll take care of it, but because I'm not some loser.
Unnecessary.
I'm like, bro, ease up, dog. Ease up.
That's right.
Ease up. And so they all start making fun of the guy. And then the rest of the cops come running out, and then they just bolt.
They realize.
In the weirdest of fashions, they're running like a 4-man weave. They're going in and out. They're going in and out. And then you just see Winston beelines it to the right with Usain Bolt-like speed. I got to say, I'm quite the runner. So fastest guy. I was the fastest guy on the cast, by the way.
For sure.
And wasn't even close.
For sure.
Now, you come back, like we said, you know, Artie's naked in her bed.
Yeah, he's doing the splashing weird thing. Yeah. And then also implying that now, like, Cece should get involved.
Yes. Yes. He's
the
like,
Brazilian what did he say?
The Brazilian
term for, like,
term
making love to one woman is the same as, what does he say?
Magalish. Magalish.
Also, what does that actually mean?
I don't know. But he says, take your tops off and say it with me.
I can't. Ew.
Now, Nick comes home and, Cece tries to stall, fails miserably. But when they go in.
Yeah, she's like, I got this. I'm really good at this. Watch me. I'm going to talk to him about some table. And he just like blows right past her. Yeah. And Jess doesn't have time to get Artie dressed and to make this not look terrible. And then I honestly, one of the, just like the best moments, like the best moments I feel like between the Nick and Jess relationship, where she just like, like lets it all like spill out. It's not making a lot of sense, but she's just like, this is what really happened. And I know this looks terrible and I can't imagine how you feel right now. And she's just like spiraling. She's like, I just really wish you would believe me. And expecting him to like rip into her because it looks terrible. There's a naked man in your bed, like for real. And he just says, I believe you. And then just like has her back. And it's just like, you gotta go. And it's as powerful, I feel like, of what most women want in a relationship, representation of that, as was the cooler kiss. Like, it was just such a, like, I got you. I know you. Don't worry about it. And I'm going to take this on without, like, putting her on trial. Such a loving, romantic, powerful moment in this series.
I agree, but I agree. He punches the man in the face. And,
no, but then remember he says we're not equal. Artie says we're not equal. So you assume that Nick's going to let him get out of bed and get dressed so they can have a fair fight. And Nick takes it like, I'm going to take my clothes off and get into bed with you to fight you, is also the greatest comedic turn ever.
But here's what I'm mad about. You're right. Jess did nothing. And she had the best of intentions. And she strategized incorrectly in this evening. That's right. However, you did put yourself into a horrible situation by inviting inviting a strange man to your house. No, Cece tried to get him to leave, and she's like, "No, we coming home. He's taking us home."
Oh, that's right. But
you
really
did that,
drunk.
And then now this man has to come and get into a fight because of that decision. She didn't have to go to the strip club and fight no strippers.
They both learned a lot. I just have to say, relationships, you got to learn some things the hard way. Trust me.
What if Nick couldn't fight? And then what if Nick couldn't fight and he couldn't sucker punch? Now he over here getting beat up on top of the whole thing in his house by a naked man who's clearly much stronger and better looking. And he's getting beat up because she was feeling some type of way. Like, what? This is what you put this man through this?
He loved her anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
He figured it out. The sucker punch was good, though.
It was a cool punch.
It was a cool punch.
He did pop him. Anyway, they go and dump him. They dress him in the strip club merch. And then they dump him in the elevator. Then we cut to Winston bringing home food from the strip club, the deep dish gyrator, the main stage fish tacos, the pour some on me meatballs.
Pour some sugar on me meatballs. And the best pancake name I've ever heard.
Short stack ass clap pancakes. Now, at the end, Winston's trying to get his loft mates to chip in at least 50 cents on the dollar for the food. But obviously, they ignore him. We'll be right back.
Okay, should we do one mess around question?
Yeah, I'll let you ask it.
If you had to do an erotic dance, what song would you select?
The Thong Song by Cisco.
I was going to say the Thong Song. We can't let go of it. We can't let go of it from the last episode we did. We can't let go of it.
I refuse.
It's also just like, it's a good song to dance to.
It's a very catchy song. Either that or It's Getting Hot in Here by Nelly. I don't know.
That's a good one.
Yeah, one of those two. One of those. The videos were cool. Cisco was running on top of a crowd of people, which I thought was really hilarious in that video.
You know what one of my other favorites is, which would be fun to dance to?
What?
Bottom jeans.
Well, Flow Rider.
Come on.
Split the first.
Come on, that's a good one. Everybody would be up. You wouldn't be dancing alone.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you need. You need a good sing-along so you're not up there dancing alone.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I can't just be out there dancing by myself stripping. I need somebody up there right next to me singing.
It's a group strip.
Yeah, everybody doing it. Well, folks, thank you for listening. Mm-hmm. We love you so much. Mm-hmm. And we love that you allow us to do this for you. So please make sure you follow us on IG at The Mess Around Pod, or you can send us a voicemail. Or leave us a letter at themessaroundpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, because sometimes we do loft meetings where we answer all of your burning questions. If you don't know what really, something didn't make sense in an episode or you noticed something, and we address it on the loft meeting. So make sure you send in a voicemail, then you can hear your voice right here on the podcast.
What are we doing next week, Hannah?
Coming back with 308 Menus.
Peace.
Bye.
That was The Mess Around. This has been an iHeartMedia production. Our executive producer is Joelle Monique. Our engineer and editor is Mia Taylor. Additional production from Daniel Goodman, Wendy Heisler, and Kyle Chevron. Our theme song was written and composed by Ronald Jukebox Jackson. So we're going to catch you next time. Bye.